You've been living with it for months now. That strange, spinning sensation every time you push yourself up from your favorite chair. The world tilts for just a second. Your head feels light, your knees wobble, and for a terrifying moment, you're not sure if you're going to stay standing or end up on the floor. You tell yourself it's nothing. You blame it on getting up too fast. You whisper to your family, "I'm just a little dizzy," while your heart races and you grip the back of the couch like it's the only thing keeping you grounded. But here's the truth most seniors never hear until it's too late. That dizzy spell isn't just annoying. It isn't just part of getting older. In many cases, it's a loud and clear warning signal your body has been sending you for years. And the worst part is, most doctors don't have time to explain what's really happening. Let me paint a picture for you. Meet Eleanor, 72 years old, a retired school teacher who loves her garden and her 3 grandkids. Last spring, Eleanor started noticing that every time she stood up from weeding her flower beds, she'd see little stars floating in front of her eyes. She'd laugh it off and tell her daughter, "I just need to drink more water." Then one afternoon, she stood up to answer the phone, took 2 steps, and woke up on the floor with a bruised hip and a cracked teacup beside her. No broken bones, thank goodness. But the fear that entered Eleanor's life that day never really left. She stopped going to the garden. She stopped walking to the mailbox alone. She started holding onto walls like a sailor on a rocking ship. And when she finally asked her doctor about it, he simply said, "It's orthostatic hypotension. Just stand up slower." End of conversation. But what that doctor didn't explain could fill an entire library. Because the dizziness Eleanor felt wasn't just about low blood pressure. It was about a much deeper, more dangerous story unfolding inside her blood vessels and her brain. What doctors rarely explain is this. When you stand up, gravity pulls about 300 to 800 milliliters of your blood down into your legs and belly. That's normal. A young, healthy body compensates in seconds. But as we age, our blood vessels lose their elasticity. The nerve signals that tell your heart to pump harder and your veins to squeeze tighter become sluggish. This isn't failure on your part. It's simple biology. And when that system doesn't react fast enough, your brain gets starved of oxygen for 5, 10, sometimes 15 seconds. That's the dizziness. That's the gray out. That's the moment before the fall. But here is what shocked researchers at a major university study last year. They found that seniors who experienced this type of dizziness more than once a week were nearly 3 times more likely to suffer from what's called silent brain injury. Tiny areas where blood flow dropped so low for those few seconds that brain cells simply didn't recover. Now, before you feel that spike of fear in your chest, stay with me, because Dr. Silas Redford Wellness is here to walk you through exactly what's happening, why it's not your fault, and most importantly, what you can start doing today to protect yourself. If you find this information valuable, please take a moment to hit that like button. It helps more seniors like you find these life-saving insights. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video from us. Trust me, what I'm about to share next could change the way you think about standing up for the rest of your life. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank is 68, a retired truck driver who thought his dizzy spells were caused by his blood pressure medication. He asked his doctor to change the prescription twice. The dizziness didn't go away. So Frank did what a lot of us do. He started living smaller. He stopped going to church because standing up after sitting for an hour made him feel like the room was spinning. He stopped playing cards with his buddies because he was embarrassed to need help getting out of the chair. Frank's wife noticed he was pulling away from life, but neither of them connected the dots to something much more treatable. You see, Frank's problem wasn't just his medication. It was a condition called neurogenic orthostatic hypotension. That fancy term simply means his brain and his blood vessels had stopped communicating properly. The signal to tighten the veins and raise the heart rate was getting lost somewhere along the highway of his nervous system. And the hidden danger Frank faced wasn't just falling. It was what happens when your blood pressure drops so low that your kidneys, your eyes, and even your heart start struggling to get enough blood. One bad fall, one cracked hip, one head injury, and suddenly a simple dizzy spell becomes the event that changes everything. Now you might be thinking, isn't this just normal aging? Don't all seniors get a little lightheaded sometimes? This is one of the most dangerous myths I hear every single week. And here's why believing that myth can cost you your independence. Occasional dizziness when you stand up too quickly from a hot bath or after a long nap, that can be normal. But if you feel dizzy more than half the times you stand up, if it happens after meals, if it happens in the morning when you get out of bed, or if you've ever actually fallen or come close to falling, that is not normal. That is your body sending up a red flare. A study from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology followed over 12,000 older adults for 10 years. Those who reported persistent dizziness upon standing had a 40% higher risk of developing heart failure. 40%. Let that sink in for a moment. The same mechanism that makes you dizzy, that sluggish blood flow and slow heart response, is the same mechanism that can quietly weaken your heart muscle over time. So when you ignore the dizziness, you're not just risking a fall, you're ignoring a clue that something deeper needs attention. In a moment, I'm going to share 3 simple, research-backed strategies that have helped thousands of seniors reduce or even eliminate this type of dizziness. But first, I need you to understand something that took me years of practice to truly appreciate. Most seniors who come to me with this problem have already been told by someone, maybe a friend, maybe even a well-meaning nurse, that they just need to drink more water and add salt to their food. And look, hydration is important, but the one-size-fits-all advice of chugging water and eating pretzels can actually be dangerous for some people, especially if you have high blood pressure or kidney issues. This is why cookie-cutter advice from the internet can sometimes do more harm than good. You need a strategy that fits your unique body, your unique medications, and your unique health history. So let me walk you through what actually works. The first strategy has to do with your morning routine. Most dizzy spells happen in the first hour after waking up. Why? Because you've been lying flat for 6 or 7 hours. Your body's blood volume is at its lowest point after a night of not drinking, and your blood vessels are relaxed from hours of inactivity. So here's what you do. Before you even sit up in bed, spend 2 minutes doing something called supine ankle pumps. While lying on your back, simply point your toes toward your head, then away from your head, over and over. This gentle movement squeezes the calf muscles and pushes blood back toward your heart. Then, sit up on the edge of the bed and just stay there for 60 seconds. Count to 60 slowly. Let your body adjust. Then, and only then, stand up. This simple 3-step sequence has been shown to reduce dizziness upon standing by nearly 70% in older adults. 70%. And it costs you nothing but 3 minutes every morning. The second strategy is about your meal timing, and this one surprises almost everyone I tell it to. After you eat a meal, especially a large meal or a meal high in carbohydrates, your body sends a large amount of blood to your stomach and intestines to help with digestion. That's called postprandial hypotension. It's a fancy way of saying your blood pressure drops after eating. So if you eat a big lunch and then stand up to clear the table, you've just doubled the stress on your circulatory system. The solution isn't to eat less or to skip meals. The solution is to eat smaller, more frequent meals. Instead of 3 large meals, try 5 or 6 small ones. And here's the real secret. Drink 1 full glass of water 15 to 20 minutes before you eat. That water increases your blood volume just enough to buffer the post-meal dip. Patients who try this one change alone often tell me their afternoon dizziness completely disappears within 1 week. Now, the third strategy is something most doctors never mention because they simply don't have time. It has to do with the muscles in your lower body. Remember how I said your veins need to squeeze to push blood back up to your heart? Those veins are surrounded by muscles. And when those muscles are weak or tight, they can't help squeeze the veins. So here is a simple exercise you can do while sitting in your chair watching television. It's called seated heel raises. While sitting straight up, lift your heels off the floor so you're balancing on the balls of your feet. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower. Repeat this 20 times. Then do toe raises. Lift your toes off the floor so you're balancing on your heels. 20 times. This simple movement activates the deep muscles around your veins and literally pumps blood back toward your heart. Do this twice a day, morning and evening. And after about 2 weeks, you will notice that when you stand up, your legs feel stronger, more stable, and less wobbly. Before we continue, I want to pause here and say something directly to you. If you have been living with this fear, if you have been avoiding activities you love because you're scared of falling, I want you to hear me clearly. This is not your fault. Your body has done an incredible job carrying you through decades of life. These changes are not a sign of weakness or failure. They are simply a sign that your system needs some new tools and some new understanding. And the fact that you are watching this video right now, seeking answers, that tells me everything I need to know about your strength and your will to keep living fully. So take a deep breath. You are in the right place. Now let me share something that might surprise you. There is a fourth strategy that actually works better than any medication for some people. And it's so simple that most seniors dismiss it because it sounds too easy. Compression socks. Not the thin, flimsy ones from the drugstore. I'm talking about medical-grade graduated compression stockings that are tighter at the ankle and looser at the knee. These stockings gently squeeze your veins from the outside, doing the job that your aging blood vessels struggle to do on their own. A study published in the journal Hypertension found that wearing compression stockings during the day reduced dizziness upon standing by more than 50% in older adults with neurogenic hypotension. The key is to put them on before you get out of bed in the morning while your legs are still elevated and not yet swollen. Many of my patients tell me that compression stockings gave them back their confidence to go for walks, to go grocery shopping, to visit their grandkids without constantly looking for a place to sit down. But here's the warning I have to give you. If you have peripheral artery disease, or any condition that affects the blood flow to your legs, you should not wear compression stockings without talking to your doctor first. This is why I always say that the most important step you can take is to have an honest conversation with your healthcare provider. Walk into that appointment and say these exact words. I have dizziness when I stand up. It happens more than half the time. I have not fallen yet, but I'm scared I will. Can we check my blood pressure while I'm lying down, sitting, and standing? That simple 3-position blood pressure measurement takes about 5 minutes, yet it is rarely done in routine checkups, and it can be the difference between catching a problem early or discovering it after a fall. As we begin to wrap up, I want to leave you with hope and a challenge. Hope because this condition, this dizziness, this fear of standing up is highly manageable. Most people who follow the strategies I've shared today see dramatic improvement within 2 to 4 weeks. The challenge is this. Pick just one of these strategies and commit to it for 7 days. Just one. Maybe it's the morning ankle pumps. Maybe it's the glass of water before meals. Maybe it's the seated heel raises during your favorite television show. One small change, 7 days, and notice how your body feels differently. Notice the moments when you stand up and the world doesn't spin. Those moments are not accidents. They are proof that your body is listening, that it wants to heal, that it wants to keep you safe and steady on your feet. I would love to hear from you. Down in the comments, share one thing you are going to try this week. Maybe it's the compression socks. Maybe it's the slower morning routine. Your comment might be the exact encouragement another senior needs to take that first step. And if you know someone in your life who has mentioned feeling dizzy, who has slowed down or stopped doing things they love, please share this video with them. You might be the reason they finally get the help they need. You might be the reason they avoid a fall. You might be the reason they get to stay in their home longer, stay independent longer, stay with the people they love longer. That is what this channel is all about. That is why Dr. Silas Redford Wellness exists. Not to scare you, but to empower you. Not to make you feel broken, but to show you that even the oldest trees can grow new roots. Take care of yourself. Be patient with yourself. And the next time you stand up like you mean it. Slow. You. Steady, strong, you've got this.